sync everything. Okay, we're gonna start over. Okay, listen, I'm recording this on my phone. My phone is going to be my microphone. I don't know what to tell you. Hi guys. Listen, I know it's been like over a year since I've made a video. I'm sorry. I have no excuse. My graduation video was supposed to go up, but it hasn't. It's been a year. Listen, I just got the news yesterday that Veronica Roth, the author of The Hunger Games, you weren't gonna say anything. You were just gonna leave it, no? You were just gonna leave it. I said it wrong on purpose. Veronica Roth, the author of the Divergent series, said that she is going to be writing a new book in the Divergent universe. It is basically fan fiction. It's what if Triss chose no faction, basically. She's gonna be factionless because the book is called The Sixth Faction, and she's gonna be factionless. So I don't know if she's gonna choose Dauntless and then not be able to go to she's gonna become factionless in that process, something like that. I don't know. Probably because I don't know how she would meet Tobias. Got the news yesterday, and I was like, I have been on a dystopian kick lately and rereading books that I reread back in the days. So obviously I reread the Divergent book, the first one, last night. Yeah. And then after I read that, I watched the movie and I have some thoughts. I do think this book is coming at a good time because Suzanne Collins is also she's writing new books in the Hunger Games series. You see, that's why she's on my mind. And it's bringing a lot of attention to this dystopian book. So I think that Veronica was like, you know what? I'm going to piggyback off of that. That's what I'm saying. It's a good time. Don't shoot the messenger. I read Divergent, I think, around the same time that I read Hunger Games. That was high school. So that was a couple of years ago. A long time ago. It was so long ago, guys. I'm in my 40s now, so just love rereading books of my childhood. I'm gonna just come out and say that I rated this book 4.5. I read this in an audiobook. I've just been learning new things about myself. I actually love audiobooks. I never knew that. The voice actor was amazing. Honestly, I have no notes on this book. This book was amazing. She wrote this when she was in college. I was like, I didn't know that. Imagine writing this entire series. Some people are just super talented. What the fuck? I have no notes except for the fact that she's 16 and Tobias is 18. Okay, this is dystopian. The romance is a subplot because they only start romancing towards the end, but still it's weird. And as a grown 50-year-old woman, I'm like, this is weird. I started Insurgent this morning, and I love the fact that her brother had the talk with Tobias and in front of her and was like, don't you think you're a bit too old for my sister? Thank you, because they don't talk about it in the movie, and I'm gonna get to the movie. So the book was 4.5. It was amazing. If you like dystopian, to me it reminds me of The Giver, which I also watched the movie and read the books, and maybe I should go and reread that also. Anyway, it's very similar to that. Everyone has a place in society. I really enjoyed it for what it was. I think it still holds up today. I don't think it it's dystopian. I feel like all dystopian holds up, except for that new dystopian book that came out this year or last year. I think it was last year. What if that question where they asked what if dystopian was romance, something like that. I can't remember what the name of the book is. Oh my gosh, dude. Just when I'm filming. Sorry, having technical difficulties. This book also makes me wonder what would be the faction I was born in, and then what would I have chosen? I would choose Erudite. It wasn't Divergent. But everyone thinks they're Divergent, so that's why I'm also I don't want to say oh, I'm Divergent, blah. Erudite or Amnesty, because I really do like agriculture. But I don't know what faction I would be born in. Probably Abnegation. I mean, I'm waiting This is my issue. Actually, now that I think about it, I do have notes. I would have preferred, it's the age thing again. I would have preferred that they were 21 and 23 because they're 2 years apart. It makes more sense to have them make this life altering decision at 21, but that's just me. But this is the issue that I have with a lot of dystopian. Why always 16 and 17? Why are the main characters always 16 and 17? Why do they need to be going through this at that young age? When I was 16 and 17, I remember my hormones were all over the place, and literally the smallest thing would be like, the world is gonna end. The world is gonna end. I couldn't find my textbook that morning. Oh my god. I'm making it everyone's problem. And I couldn't control that because my fucking hormones. How are they handling guns at 16? I do think also that the reason why I rated this book so high right now is that the audiobook was really good. I really liked the narrator, the person that performed it, and also nostalgia. I don't know if I had just read this book ebook style or the physical book, if I would have rated it that high. It does read like it was released in the 2010s. I think it came out in 2011. So it is a little bit cringy, but I like the fact that it's cringy. I can still enjoy it now, and I am not gonna apologize for that. Now, let's talk about the movie. The movie, 2 stars. I feel like the actors in this really, they were carrying the movie. Bruh, I'm not going out. There's someone outside. I'm not going outside. The movie was cool. If you're looking at the movie just like that, I would rate it like super high, also 4.5 or even 5 stars. It's got Theo James and Shailene Woodley in it. They are so hot, they are so pretty, and they just like, even at that time I knew, gorgeous. I watched it and the CGI is not bad. Or the simulations were like super scary, super creepy, especially the fear escape, or is it when she does the test to see like which faction she's gonna be in. That one, yeah, scary. The test one with the dog and then the girl. Yeah, they handle it better in the books. I wish I would have done everything that was in the books in the movies, but they didn't, because she's supposed to get on a train. Someone is supposed to ask her to tell the truth. They don't do that in the movie. Also, these are spoilers now. The parents' death in the movie is so by the way. The mother doesn't even say anything. She just gets shot and then she dies. In the book, her mother's abnegation, and you find out she's dauntless. So she literally tells Tris, go, I will distract them. Dude, it hits you in the gut when the mother dies, like she does. And then the dad, oh my gosh, wait. When I was watching the movie, I saw, what is his name? The funny thing is, now I don't know his name, but when I see his name, then I know. I'm like, Also, why I would rate this movie so high, because of the father, Tony Goldwyn. I don't know why I don't know why that man has such a hold on me ever since Scandal. But like, he's just a white man. I hope my boyfriend doesn't watch this video. And so he just takes the gun from her, and he's like you said, every second counts, and he starts shooting up these people. And then once everyone, that the dauntless, the innocent dauntless, because they all in the simulation, once they're dead, then we just see the brother leaning over the dad, and he's dead. What? Almost said a bad word. Why would they do that? It feels more painful. It feels more meaningful in the book, and I hate it in the movie. The mother is also supposed to visit, and there's supposed to be a family day for the initiates, and so then the mother's supposed to go and visit Tris, but in the movies, they don't do that. She finds Tris when she's being stationed. They're carrying supplies back to the headquarters, and then the mother gets her there. Like, we don't even see the mother's tattoo. Also, Tris is supposed to get a tattoo with abnegation and the dauntless symbols tattooed. She doesn't get that. She just gets the birds. And then also when they go into Tobias's fear escape, why did they change that scene? He was gonna go into his fear escape in any case, and he knew she was gonna follow him, and so he's like, oh, while you're here, let's go in there. But then the way that they did that whole thing, I can't remember, I literally watched it and read it last night, so it's all jumbled up. She like talks about her fear of failing, and then he's like, you need to practice, and then they go into his mindscape. He also let her in because he wanted her to know him better, and in this way they frame it like, I'm just trying to help you. Their relationship doesn't develop so nice. I don't like the way it develops in the movie. And then he becomes a zombie because he's in the simulation. He becomes a zombie, and then she says, I love you first, with a gun pointed at her head, and then that snaps him out. No, what do you mean she says I love you first? No, there's supposed to be a little banter, and he's like, I would say I love you, but I don't want to scare you. And then she says something, what does she say? What if I'm not scared? And then he says, then I love you. And then he also never says I love you in the movie. And then in the movie it just ends with them on the train going to the end of the train. But in the book it's established they're gonna go to Amnesty because the other abnegation people that were not killed are also gonna go seek shelter in Amnesty. I don't like the movie in comparison to the book. It sucks bad. When she runs away to her brother, because at the family day her mother's like, tell your brother to research the simulation serum. She goes to Erudite. She speaks to the receptionist and she's like, I want to see my brother. She's aggressive about it, and then her brother shows up. In the movie she just walks into a place and there he is. What? I don't like it. And then she doesn't get caught for that. In the book she gets caught for that. Edward, that eye was poked out or stabbed because he was first and Peter wanted to be first. That doesn't happen. Them wanting to push her into the ravine happens, sure, but that, like, come on, why did they skip that? I like that the authors are now writing again in their universes because I'm here for it. I'm the target market. I am the target audience, obviously. But it's strange reading it as an adult, you know, as being 65. How are there so few divergent people in the whole society? You know what I'm saying? Candor, their whole thing. Now you need intelligence for that. For abnegation you also need kindness. To be selfless, to help others, you also need to have kindness. Amnesty, to have the agriculture, you need, okay, but they work with erudite, but still you can't have one of those virtues without another virtue. Then the whole thing falls apart. But I guess that's the point, because they're all brainwashed to think like you can only be one thing, and then there's a divergent that's like, no. Yes. Putta? Okay, I'm coming. I keep having like technical difficulties or like interruptions. I'm very excited for the new book. I wonder if we'll get an adaptation. I don't really like adaptations. Look what's happening now to beach read. I think I enjoyed this for the nostalgia. I'm just a whore for dystopian. I like what I like. I'm easily entertained, so take it with a grain of salt. I would recommend this for someone that's also getting into reading because it's easy to read. Although it is a trilogy, it's easy to read, it's a quick read, you are entertained. I was entertained all the time, especially if they are like super young, which this is the target audience for. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, a like, whatever. Comment down below. Are you gonna read the new book? I'm reading Insurgent now, and then I'm going to watch the movie as well. So then when I'm done with that, I'll probably also upload a video. Thank you guys for watching my video all the way. I love you guys so much. Have a good day. Toodles.